Hi guys, my name is Nkutlile Lutlete. Welcome to our channel Beyond the Headlines.
Hey everybody, we are so happy to have you back. My name is Mihle Inga, and the goal of this channel is to inform all of our viewers of matters involving journalism, media, and communication. We speak on current affairs and we deeply analyze stories as well as the ethical standing of organizations. We hope you guys enjoy.
First and foremost, what is global media ethics? Global media ethics is a discipline that addresses ethical standards of media in a globalized digital world.
Now that my wonderful co host has given us the definition of global media ethics, we're now going to jump into what the purpose and the intentions of global media ethics are. The purpose and the intentions of global media ethics was to develop a set of principles and standards for journalism in the new age of global media. The intention is also to encourage journalists to act as global agents and to serve the citizens of the world.
Focus on who is reporting. So there are three reporters in this video, but we're just gonna focus on one who is in front of the camera, and his name is Andrew Harding, a 53-year-old white male, and the reporting took place in a Central African Republic. If we shift our focus to the impact of the whole video, I would say that the African's perspective was not represented, and this affects authenticity and fairness. The video as a whole may reinforce the idea that Africa is a place of constant crisis and instability. The international community may view Africa as in need of help all the time and not recognize its strengths, solutions, and resilience.
Now that we've gotten better insight on who's reporting and how their reporting has impacted the story in Africa, we're going to take a deeper look into what they're reporting on and how they reported the story. So, the reporters in this case study are currently reporting on the violence that has taken place in the Central African Republic between Muslim and Christian militants, and the state that that specific violence has left the country in, and the country being hospitals, the country being the citizens, the country being every single aspect of the country, and how that violence has affected the country as a whole. How are the reporters reporting on this story? Um, when we speak on how are the reporters reporting on the story, we're going to be looking deeper into the context, into the facts that have been portrayed, into the people that have been interviewed, and into the images and the visuals that they have used, and basically the overall representation of the story. So I see that they are reporting on the story within the country that the violence has taken place in. So they have done it in a sort of a documentary style. They've walked through the country, they've shown places in which the violence has taken place. They're traveling within the city and they're interviewing people that are a part of the Muslim and people that are a part of the Christian communities, as well as the people who work in the hospitals that survivors of the violence have been taken into. So that gives us as viewers and them as journalists a better insight into what this violence is actually about and how this violence has affected the people that are a part of it. The visuals and the images that have been used are precise. I believe that they're an accurate representation of what has taken place in the country, precisely because they are currently in the country. It's not people who are currently in the West who are reporting on something that is happening in Africa who have no idea about what's happening, but they're physically in the country so that um, they're able to give us accurate images and accurate visuals of what is happening and what the effects of that violence have been.
We're gonna focus on three values when it comes to this whole video: the truth, accuracy, and respect. The report represents the truth about the issue, but the truth is partial. While statistics and visible problems are highlighted, the deeper context is missing. And what I mean by deeper context, local voices, historical backgrounds, and African led solutions. Therefore, this creates a limited version of the truth. The facts that are shared seem correct, but the accuracy is affected by the selective framing. By only focusing on problems, the report may give an exaggerated impression of crisis without giving a balance. When it comes to respect, I would say that there is no respect whatsoever because the African voices are underrepresented. Instead of letting Africans speak for themselves, the story relies mostly on outside perspectives. And this can come across as dismissive of local agency and dignity. Coming to an essential question, is the reporting ethical or unethical? Well, the reporting did have some ethical points to it, but overall, I would say it was unethical since it left out most important context, like the background and whatever, and it was not respectful towards the African people as their voices were underrepresented and they were not shown respect, but so not. They were not interviewed. It was just like, hey, we are here now. This is what's going down, and they're suffering, gunning themselves down. But nobody mentioned the solutions they brought forth, right? The strength, the ability to survive, to get through. They didn't necessarily get through with it because it was not over yet, but they survived. And I feel like that is what the international community has to see, has to learn. Because if this is all that's shared, then just negative ideas and stereotypes about Africa out there. That's all. That's all that's gonna be there. And that's not okay when it comes to authenticity and fairness. So overall, it was unethical.
After determining whether or not um, the way the story has been portrayed is ethical or unethical, I think it is also important to take a deeper dive into whether or not global media ethics as a whole is feasible. And I believe that although it's still a developing concept, global media ethics is definitely feasible. I say that it's feasible because I believe that it's feasible to work towards shared principles and standards for journalism across the world, something that we all entirely agree on, something that we can all practice as a whole in the journalism community. In my opinion, global media ethics seems to have a bright future as people seem to be appreciative of concepts that enforce one way of thinking for people who are in one field. I do, however, think that a balance needs to be found between universal standards and local standards, so that we can avoid having Western beliefs imposed on other countries, as this could possibly be something that works against the progress that people practicing global media ethics have already made. I do believe that it's important to draw the line between what's the norm in a Western country and what's the norm in an African country, because our norms are not the same, our cultures are not the same, and our beliefs and morals are not the same. Our values, the way we view things, are not the same. So it's not necessarily a one size fits all concept. Um, it is really important that we don't walk into it is important that we don't walk into, what can I say? What are the words that I can use? It's important that we don't walk into a tendency of wanting to impose one solution for every problem, despite the fact that we're using one concept or one set of principles or one set of standards for a specific field. But other than that, I do believe that global media ethics is feasible. I don't believe that just because there's certain things that need to be worked on, that it makes it unfeasible. It is feasible, but there are certain things that we can definitely improve on. We have reached the end of our video, but we're so grateful that you were able to take time out of your day to stop, to watch, to listen, and to learn with us. Because as much as we are sharing this information with you guys, we are also learning and we are also discovering and we are also sharing what we believe. Please do keep in mind that our beliefs are not facts. It is okay for you to have your own beliefs. Please don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. Thank you.